to make sure she finished number one, okay? And what the things that she needed to do to get there. And that's the kind of stuff you guys are gonna hear, because I got a lot of questions about with a 201, how do I get there and all that kind of stuff. What's also gonna happen is, every week you're gonna get an update of where you stand. What your PR forms are submitted so far, what your personal production is, how many codes you have, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Diana won because of her personal production, but to qualify to be part of the qualification, she had to do 2 PR forms and 2 codes. Those were the qualification. Those were the triggers. You don't hit those things, if you just want to go do personal production, do 100,000 personal production, when you have 0 PRs and 0 codes, well, guess what? You're not going to be invited to 201. At that point, I will have a conversation with you and say, hey, listen, man, you're going to be a great agent someday. Because that's what it is, right? The purpose of the personal production that we do for you guys as essays right now is I want you guys to make money. I want you guys to make money and make sure you're taking care of yourself too during this 10-week period, so you guys can be making money while you're doing it instead of just recruiting and then we just fall apart because we're not making money at that point. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff. So without further ado, I want to bring up Diana Grosch, who won our last, well, she was our top person for our 201 in August, and I want her to come up here and talk to you guys about what she did to make sure she finished number 1. So let's give a warm welcome for Diana Grosch.
I was certified K-12, did 6 years as a high school choir teacher, 9 years in elementary school. I loved teaching, but that opportunity only took me so far. The most I ever made teaching with my master's degree, plus 36 credit hours, the farthest I could go without getting my doctorate degree, 15 years experience was $52,000 a year, okay? When I stopped teaching at the end of that school year, by the time I had gotten to December with this career, I had matched that income, and I've only gone up from there. So the opportunity is there for you. Obviously, we all know that, right? We've seen that over and over and over. The way to do that, though, is to increase your team. And how do you do that? You recruit. You've heard that 1,002 times. But I will say, for me personally, I didn't know how to do that. What does that look like? What am I going to do when I go back home? It was definitely an area of weakness for me. So whenever Steve's talking about pick 2 things, figure out who your agency owner is and what your strengths are, I picked one thing that was my strength and one thing that was my weakness. So what's my weakness? My weakness is recruiting. How do I do that? My strength was social media. So how can I use my social media skills to do the things that I need to do for recruiting? So what you have in front of you is just a little snapshot, but I wanted to walk through a couple of ways that I used recruiting to build my team, and it's still an ongoing process and it will continue to do that, right, every level that you go. The biggest thing is to just recruit all the time. You're always talking about it, okay? Either with your words or with your social media or with your actions, you just live it. And I love that they say you can't sell the dream if you're living a nightmare. Hunter is actually out of our office, so he knows sometimes I get a little bit like, right? Because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. This is a hard job. SA is a hard job. You have a lot of balls that you're juggling in the air, but the rewards are so great too. So try to take a breath, try to refocus. If you can, delegate. Another one of my weaknesses, I'm not great at that part. So ask someone else to help you. Pass something to them that you know they can do well, okay? The biggest army is always going to win, right? We've talked about that. If you have 30 agents, good for you. But you're always going to outright the person that has 2 agents, okay? It doesn't matter how awesome those 2 agents are, your 30 agents are going to do way better, right? And there is a really cool thing to watch people that you've trained promote out underneath you. So I've promoted 2 of the ladies in our office to become SAs as well. To watch them have that success is amazing, and you get to feel that 2%, right? Like I helped them get there. I get to take a little part of it. If you're a parent, you feel that when your kid starts walking or they say their first word, like, I had a part in that. Of course they did the work, but you get to have that part of it, right? You get that pride. Plus, it's a great way with recruiting to jumpstart your team, your promotion, right? Why would you let your agency owner or your agency director control what your team looks like? Why are you gonna let them do that? Don't you wanna have a team of yourself? Are you the best one in your office, or you're the best one on your team? I am. I want more of me. I wanna duplicate me, right? I don't want RMS leads. I want people that are like me, that wanna work hard. I mean, an RMS lead is great, but are they gonna work as hard as me? Probably not, right? So I'm gonna go out and recruit somebody that's gonna work really hard. You have control over that, okay? The more agents that you have, the more cases that you'll close. The more cases that you close, I work site, sorry. So the more policies you sell if you're individual, right? The more AP that's there, the more production that's there, the more everybody's making money, and of course they want to work harder because they made money, right? Who gets motivated by a $300 check? 0 people, right? So if your agent is getting a $300 check because you have $1,400 of just cash cancer or whatever it is on the worksite, or you have one policy, are you motivating them to work harder? No, right? So you have to work hard so that they work hard, and then it's like a spiral effect. Everybody goes up, okay? You'll see our team on the leaderboard this week. Woo, we had our best week ever last week. I'm super pumped. Yes, it was very, very cool. It was my biggest paycheck ever, like in my whole life. Like it's.
Let's go, baby! Woo!
Like, that's literally more than 10% of my income after teaching for 15 years. Like, holy moly, it's like, dude, what's up? And he's like, okay. I was excited. So, with your agents, okay, on your team, you're in charge of training them and giving them the tools to be successful, to become self-sufficient. You're not in charge of paying them. Okay, I'm gonna remember that for myself. Right? So some of these things are for me to remind myself. You're in charge of training them and getting them set up for success. And then you have to cut the cord and let them go. And then they either do it or they don't, right? You're asking yourself, did I set them up for success? Did I do all the things in my control to help them be successful? Did I give them the opportunity of a lifetime? And then you have to let them do it, right? You can't keep dragging them along. We're not the Flintstones, we're not dragging them along, okay? Make them a self-sufficient agent. The way you do that is you keep your area healthy, okay? I don't know how many essays go, at least on the worksite side, we forget about our own cases. We forget about our own walk-ins. We forget about our own territory, right? Oh, I'm gonna go with this way agent, I'm gonna go with this agent. I'm like, man, their route is just terrible, and their leads are just terrible. And they're internet qualified, and whose fault is that, right? You have to take ownership. If you're their leader, you have to do that route inspection. Take that responsibility, up the ante, okay? And then if they're not doing it the right way, take them into your area, show them that success, and be like, okay, this is what it looks like. Your turn, right? Get them to be self-sufficient. You just put that new agent in your back pocket. It's not easy. It's worth it. Okay, it's not easy. This job is not easy. Right? How many of you guys, I'm sure you guys already did this, but like, how many of you guys have been in SA for a hot minute? Like a little bit of time? Okay. So, I know sometimes it takes a while, right? And that's okay. That's okay. You don't need to control what happened before. You can control what happens now, going forward. Some of us take a little longer to go to AD. That's okay. I've been in SA for 2 years, because I didn't do it right the first time. And now I'm doing it right. And now I'm going to be a kick-ass AD, so watch.
Come on!
Conversation all the time, okay? It's a 3-foot rule. Javier says that. I don't know if you guys know Javier. 3-foot rule. Everybody you know and you come in contact with should have a policy or an interview. Okay, now that's hard, right? That's hard, but challenge yourself. You want to live the dream, show the opportunity. I'm not money motivated. Like, I know I said something about my AP this week, but I'm not money motivated. What I am is opportunity motivated. I want to set my kids up for success. I grew up in a one-income family. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, oldest of 4. I thought teaching was gonna be my thing, like I was good at it. But the area of opportunity is so much better here, and like, look at what's gonna do for my kids. I was part of that conversation with Mike Sheets last night, like, my kids are like, wait, where's the free food at the ball game? What? We're not in a suite? No, we're not always gonna be bougie, okay? Like, it's fine. You can sit in the real seats with the real people, it's okay. But, you know, they're 11 and 12. What kind of opportunities am I able to show? And I do that on my social media, so they can see that. People can see what I'm doing with my kids, okay? You're talking about it at ball games, you're talking about it with parent groups, school functions. Does everybody you know really know what you do for a job, for a career? If they don't, that's on you. They should know what you do, okay? I was at Walgreens, and I was just going in to buy some lip gloss before a baby shower. I was like, what do you do? And this lady stops me, she's like, man, what do you do? You just exhibit this aura of success and happiness and joy. And she stopped me, and I personally recruited her because I was like, man, you can have that too, okay? You should be walking the walk and talking the talk all the time. It can't be fake, you have to believe it, okay? You have to believe it. You should be on your social media. You're always talking about it on your social media. If that's a weakness for you, start with one. Start with Facebook, or start with Instagram, or start with LinkedIn. Okay, you guys have all heard that. Chris Murrell, I'm sure, telling you all about it, right? Morgan Turner. So it can't just be about work, though. You can't just post your paycheck. Like, I won't post my paycheck. I'll have my social media person from my office do it, and then I'll share it. But it's awkward. Like, I don't want to do that. If you're cool with that, do it. But I'm posting, how did I get to take my kid to Youth Nationals World Championship for baseball in Myrtle Beach for 10 days? What kind of job lets you get off work for 10 days and go on a really cool vacation? My job. What kind of job sends you to Grand Cayman Islands for 7 days at no expense? My job. Do you want to come work with me?
Preach.
I can guarantee you an interview. Let's go. Okay? I can't guarantee you that you're going to be successful. I can guarantee you I'll give you the tools for the success. I can guarantee you that interview. Come find out if it's good for you. Okay? You got to inspire people to wonder how you got the opportunity to do all of those fun things. If you don't have kids, that's okay. What are you doing? Did you post last night that you got to go to a Brazilian steakhouse? Did you post that you got to go to Texas? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be huge. Do you drive 2 hours for an enrollment? Did you get to meet somebody cool in an enrollment? Did you get to help those families? Post that. Put it out there, okay? Because people want to be involved in something where they're helping someone else. That's what we do. We help families. You can even recruit whenever you're at enrollment. Okay, so not the people that are the employees. Okay, let me be clear. You're not going to go to a work site. I'm going to work with this city, or I'm going to work with this school, or whatever. I'm not recruiting that person that I'm sitting with, but they know people. Okay? When I'm rapport building and I'm writing down whatever I'm writing down on their needs planner and their quotes and stuff, I'm like, well, what does your spouse do? Well, you have a 26-year-old kid. What do they do? It's just conversation, and if somebody says, oh yeah, they're looking or whatever, I'm like, hey, we're hiring. And on that sheet, you can literally see in the bottom left-hand corner, that's a picture of my computer. On the back of my computer, whenever I lift my laptop and I'm enrolling, it literally says, did you have good service? Leave me a Google review. You'll see my name on Google review contests. And then you'll see we're hiring. It's literally a QR code. That's why you have the QR code. Steal that, create your own job form. It's free. Pull it up, look at it, duplicate it. It's there for you. That stuff's on the back of my business card. It's at the bottom of my email signature. Like, it's always there. So just because that person is an employee doesn't mean that they don't know somebody that might be looking. They don't know, they could be meeting somebody 6 months from now. Hey, Diana, are you still enrolling or still hiring? Yep, sure am. Use your link card. We've already talked about that, right? You guys have all heard about the link? My phone's over there, but it's got the tag on the back. Use the link card. Or you have your business card. Oh yeah, we are hiring. Here, let me get you my business card. And then you take it away. You know that method, right? You take it away. You know what? Instead of me giving you this card, let me get your information. I'll have my hiring director reach out to you. Then you have their phone number, you have their email address. you have them text you. Just have them text you their email address. Put your name and your email address, text it to me. Here's my number, then you have it. Okay, then you can follow up. Put your QR code on the back of your business card and give them away all the time. Put your digital business card on your email signature. Okay, maybe they're not looking, but they know somebody that is, or they will be, okay? You can't prejudge either. You don't know what someone else's work ethic's gonna be or their drive to make whatever their dreams are happen, okay? You are literally giving people the opportunity of a lifetime. You don't get to be stingy with it. Give it to everybody, okay? If you have any-
Diana, come on, baby.